This is Disneyland News Today. I'm Tom Corliss. Here now, the top Disneyland Resort stories for February 16, 2023. Disneyland Resort has confirmed that due to issues with construction related to recent winter storms, the reopening of Mickey's Toontown has been pushed back by nearly 2 weeks. Quote, due to heavy winter storms that impacted our construction momentum, we are adjusting the reopening date of Mickey's Toontown to March 19th. Disneyland told the Orange County Register, we can't wait for our guests to visit and experience the reimagined land. Again, Toontown will now reopen on the 19th of March, originally supposed to be March 8th, which would have been exactly 1 year to the day, after which it closed for its extensive reimagining. The key addition, of course, is Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is already open, but a number of new attractions and revamped offerings will debut with the space next month, including Centennial Park, the first space guests will see when they enter the land. It'll be anchored by 2 new interactive play experiences, a fountain featuring water tables designed for play, and a dreaming tree with sculpted roots for children to crawl through. Of course, there's also new Goofy and Donald experiences and a lightly refreshed Gadgets Go Coaster, which no longer is Gadgets Go Coaster. Mickey's Toontown cast members will debut a new mix and match costume, or costumes. Boy, when the land reopens, Disneyland's costuming design team included cast members in the development process of the new look to make sure it was comfortable, functional, and fashionable. Quote, having cast feedback and input from the beginning was critical and shaped a large part of the development of the costume, said Lynn Kaufman, costume designer. It was a really beautiful process. I'm looking forward to seeing how people react to the costumes. The mix and match costumes feature breathable fabrics, inclusive sizing, and optional accessories that allow cast members to showcase their personalities. Everyone has a different preference in what they wear and what makes them feel confident, said Tyler Girdner, an entertainment character host who had the opportunity to be involved in the development. Having different pieces for different body types and different personalities is a really cool step forward. It's been so meaningful to include the cast in this process because we are designing for them, said Janet Olshen, another costume designer. Everybody has a different opinion and a different need. Collecting more voices was really what made this collection the success that it is. Again, you'll see these starting on the 19th of March. These will be out. What's interesting is they draw a little bit of inspiration. So Tokyo redid their Toontown costumes several years ago, which I thought was really cute. They did these sort of 2D style like bow ties and all sorts of little touches like that. And it's all very colorful like this too. So certainly inspired by, but definitely, American fashion requires a whole lot of different needs that the Japanese fashion usually does not. And so obviously they had to do a lot of changes and do a lot of things different to be inclusive here. But they look good. They look nice. And so far, everything of this Toontown refresh has been a win. And I think we were so worried about it. I think based on just the way things had gone the last several years, mostly at Disney World, but also at other places, that we were worried about this project. But so far, what the little bit we've seen refreshed, Runaway Railway, these costumes, every little bit so far has been on point. So here's hoping the rest will be. After his big win with the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday night, Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes was just on a whirlwind tour around Los Angeles, even getting to go to Disneyland for a celebratory parade Monday afternoon. During his appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live on Monday night, we learned about the rest of his time at Disneyland, which included really just one other thing, a ride on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. That's the only other thing he got to do because of, obviously, he's on a whirlwind media tour the day after winning the Super Bowl.
We rode the new Mickey and Minnie Runaway, it's a tongue twister, Runaway Railroad ride.
Okay.
And it was actually pretty crazy. It caught me by surprise a couple of times. I thought it was like a kid's ride, how it's set up. And all of a sudden I'm flying around this place and I'm like, how do y'all let little kids on this thing? No, it was... Which,
I mean, there's been, some people have said they think the Disneyland ride's a little rougher than the Disney World one, Runaway Railway. So I mean, if you're expecting like a cute little dark ride that doesn't, throw you all over the place, I could see why you'd be surprised by this ride. But considering Mahomes' NFL career, where he gets sacked by 300-pound dudes who lift every day, that says a lot that he's saying Runaway Railway is rough, right? I imagine it's rougher to get hit by a 300-pound guy in full football gear, right? I don't know. But either way, that's what Mahomes has to say. Let us know in the comments if you think Runaway Railway is too rough, maybe too rough for the kids, or even for adults. Fans of the Haunted Mansion might be familiar with an unused concept art piece by Marc Davis for a man-eating bat in a birdcage that was going to be part of the hallway scene. Well, during the most recent refurbishment, Disneyland Resort quietly added this gag along with another small addition in the graveyard scene to bring the Disney Legends dream to life. Located in the extended hallway next to the face armchair, the Donald Duck chair as some people call it, we see a birdcage on a stand with two glowing red eyes and bones sticking out. Next to the cage are two empty glasses of what previously seemed to have contained blood. The bat in a birdcage was a concept from Imagineer and Disney legend Marc Davis. Finally was realized over half a century later after the ride first opened. The bones imply that the bat was a man-eater, quite literally a vampire bat. The original art was created by Davis during the attraction's initial development in the 1960s, but didn't make it into the Haunted Mansion at that time. Of course, Disneyland's been making a habit out of sort of digging up these unused concepts and putting them into the mansion. Of course, the Hatbox Ghost was not an unused concept. It was a thing that made it in, but just didn't really work really well in the opening days of the attraction. And then, of course, they brought that in 2015. That was brought back to life. Imagineer Daniel Joseph, the one truly responsible for that, a super talented guy. And then just a couple years ago, they did another refurbishment where they changed the load area, and that was an opportunity for them to bring in the statue of the one-eyed cat, which is another thing that was, the one-eyed cat was supposed to originally be the sort of the narrator or host at one point of the Haunted Mansion. That didn't happen. And so there's always been these stories or little things people talk about the one-eyed cat and its legacy. And they finally put it into the Disneyland Mansion. Fun fact, it is in the Disney World Mansion as well. It was added when they did the interactive queue on the mausoleum. There's a sort of relief of the cat you can hit, and it meows in the interactive queue. And this is the third thing now, another thing from the development of the attraction that has some lore to it. People talk about it, people know it exists. It was in the Marc Davis book, which is fantastic, and you should own it. But I think little things like this are amazing. I saw some people will complain about anything. Some people were going like, they're adding too much, you're putting too much to look at, blah, blah, blah. I don't think there could ever be too much to look at, right? And that's kind of a dead portion of that scene. I know people are like, oh, it's going to draw attention away from the endless hallway. I don't think it does. I think you've completed that gag and you make that turn. There's kind of nothing going on for a couple seconds there, right? So this little added gag off to the side, I think is a cool thing. But also remember, like specifically Marc Davis and Walt Disney, when they were really building up Pirates of the Caribbean, Walt said to Marc, he's like, oh, there's all this stuff going on. So that means every time people ride the ride, they might see something different. They might pick up a little bit of dialogue or see a detail they didn't see before. And that's in the initial Disneyland certainly has that attention to detail, but the next level, the level of Disney theme park detail that we are more accustomed to over the last 40-something years begins with the Marc Davis era of Imagineering. That's when Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, those attractions of that caliber start having that insane amount of detail and attention to story. That's the beginning of all that. And so I don't think you could put, as long as it doesn't become cluttered, I don't think there's too much you can put in, right? Because the idea is that rewritability. Every time the guests come back, they'll see a little something different, right? This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, The Vacationeer, the engineers of your next magical vacation. Sit back and let their team of vacation planning experts craft your family's next magical Disney trip. The best part is their services are free. Visit WDWNT.travel for details. Tilly the mannequin, who mans the box office of the Main Street Cinema at Disneyland, has been given her own Disney 100 Years of Wonder outfit, name tag, and accessories. Tilly's new dress is striped purple and white. She's also wearing her own Disney 100 cast member name tag with flowers pinned around it. She has two purple and white macarons on the saucer with her teacup, a perfect snack for a hard work day. She also has a purple embroidered purse sitting beside her. A nice little detail to go check out. Moon Girl from Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is now greeting guests in Hollywoodland at Disney California Adventure, and we were on hand for the very first greeting. Though the Moon Girl Cavalcade and stage show were only performed on February 15th, the Moon Girl meet and greet will be available for a limited time beyond that. If you want to watch the Cavalcade and the stage show, we did film both of them, so you can enjoy them. They're both here on our YouTube channel. You'll find Moon Girl located in front of a characteristic New York-style apartment building with the art of Devil Dinosaur covering the windows and a graffiti-esque logo off to the right. This is located just across from the Hyperion Theater. sort of going around the corner. If you go down Hollywood Boulevard and hook a left, you can't miss her down at the end there. Moon Girl meets guests in her characteristic yellow, purple, and aqua blue costume with huge oversized goggles and red gloves. This might be my favorite of them. I'm not a big Marvel character meet and greet guy. I love the way this costume pops. It's really cool. At the center of her shirt is a crescent moon with a blue G symbolizing her name. And even her boots are cartoonish, fitting the aesthetic of the animated series perfectly while translating well into the real world. I mean, people are now selling those big red cartoon boots, right? So kind of real world boots now. Disney has not announced an exact end date for this meet and greet, so you might want to go catch it before it's gone. Of course, Moon Girl and the Devil Dinosaur debuted February 10th on Disney Channel and February 15th on Disney+. The series follows the adventures of 13-year-old super genius Lunella Lafayette, a.k.a. Moon Girl, and her 10-ton T-Rex, Devil Dinosaur, whom she accidentally brings into present-day New York City. The duo works together to protect the Lower East Side neighborhood in New York City from danger. The finale of World of Color 1 at California Adventure has been updated since guests weren't sure exactly when the show was over. The new ending has been tightened up to lessen guest confusion. The section of the finale using clips from various Disney films, old and new, is still the same. The original ending confused guests with a long pause after the line, "No matter who you are or where you're from, you have the power to make a difference. It just takes one." Many thought it ended there and would applaud and begin to leave. The pause has been significantly shortened before Walt Disney appears again saying, quote, "I just want to leave you with this thought. It's just been sort of a dress rehearsal. We're just getting started." Walt fades away and the title screen for Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color fades in and is replaced then with the World of Color 1 logo in lasers, which originally didn't appear in this section. It originally was just in the walk-off after the show. And the logo stays up as a reprise of Start a Wave, the show's original theme song, starts up. This slow section of the finale remains approximately the same, the walk-off. The World of Color 1 logo previously appeared as a voice said, "Thank you for joining us," but doesn't now. The narrator still reminds guests that, like Walt Disney, you have the power to make a difference, make a wave. You can watch the new finale of World of Color 1 and the full show, for that matter, right here on our YouTube channel. Most of the construction fencing has been removed from around the downtown Disney District monorail station, revealing fresh new pavement. Fencing wrapped in green scrim still blocks where the pavement of the extended queue is being replaced. The fencing was erected around the station entrance a month ago, but the monorail remained open and operational during that work. Downtown Disney District is currently undergoing a major reimagining, but it looks like pavement is the only update to the monorail station, at least for now. The Disneyland monorail will close for a refurbishment beginning on March 20th. It's scheduled to only last through March 23rd, but things can always change. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. Special shout out to all the WIGS members watching who make this show happen every week. Guests can conjure up the vengeful tiki goddess Oa with a new second edition Oa Souvenir Tiki Bowl, now available at Trader Sam's Enchanted Tiki Bar at the Disneyland Hotel. Whisper Oa's name or order the signature drink, and a thunderstorm erupts within the Enchanted Tiki Bar. Of course, cast members and guests in the know will chant Oa, just like in the Enchanted Tiki Room under new management at Walt Disney World. It lasted from 1998 to 2011. This is a nod to that, of course. You'll find Oa actually in our Trader Sam's here at Walt Disney World. The figure is in there. The drink arrives and guests are invited to throw the cinnamon dust into the fire to ward off Oa. The drink itself is a blend of rums, pog juice, pineapple, grapefruit, and lime juices garnished with a dash of cinnamon, fresh limes, and cherries, and served in a souvenir tiki bowl. The drink is meant to be shared by 2 or more guests. Doesn't mean I've never polished off one myself, but it's meant to be. The new bowl itself is an imperfect triangular shape featuring greenish blue glaze. Referred to as the drummer tiki mug, the souvenir bowl features totem poles on each corner and Polynesian carving inspired drummers on each side. We've seen a lot of new mugs as of late. This is just the latest one. It does seem like they're refreshing the entire lineup there at Trader Sam's. If you like park hopping and split stays, we may have just the announcement for you. Breeze Airways will begin Non-stop routes between John Wayne Airport and Orlando International Airport, allowing guests to travel between the Walt Disney World and Disneyland resorts with one-way flights in each direction starting at just $69. Breeze Airways, a new budget airline, will begin service at John Wayne on Thursday, February 16th, offering the first nonstop flight between Orlando, Florida, and Orange County, California. Flights will be scheduled once daily, departing from Santa Ana around 9 a.m. Pacific time and returning from Orlando about 5 p.m. Eastern time. The airline will be offering $69 fares as an introductory rate, perfect for guests looking to travel between the happiest place on earth and the world's most magical place. Fares will rise to between $119 and $199 once the introductory period ends. According to the article by the Orange County Register, Breeze Airways offers a number of perks that set them apart from other budget airlines, including letting families sit together for free, no penalty changes or cancellation of bookings up to 15 minutes before departure, and several price levels, including first class and extra legroom seats. And while several airlines serve both MCO and SNA, Breeze Airways appears to be the only one offering nonstop flight between the two major airports. Many travelers look towards connecting flights with Southwest Airlines to travel for a split stay between the Disney parks, but questions regarding the airline's reliability remain after a whirlwind of cancellations not many months ago. For the absolute latest Disneyland news, head on over to DisneylandNewsToday.com and follow us on your favorite social media platforms. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video, subscribe to WDW News Today on YouTube for more great content, and click the bell for notifications. Also, make sure to hit select all notifications so you never miss an episode of DLNT. For everyone here at Disneyland News Today, this is Tom Corliss saying, enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
From WDWNT TV, this is Park Center. Join us each week for news and discussion topics from the Disney and Universal theme parks around the world. We cover the stories in a quick, concise, and fun format, and then our panel breaks down and debates some of the biggest issues and what they mean for us, the parks fans. From the latest announcements to openings and delays to scandals and snacks and merchandise and more, we'll cover it all in 90 minutes. Join us live every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube at WDWNT TV, or watch episodes on demand anytime. You can also subscribe to the audio version of the show on your favorite podcast app.